What's up, everybody? It's the Hardy Construction. You can find us on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, as well as Instagram with your host Komp and
Purple Index Card,
as well as
Coca-Cola
from HorrorHarbour.tumblr.com. Today's film is
it is What Keeps You Alive 2018 Canadian.
What Keeps You Alive 2018. Directed by Colin Minihan. Written by Colin Minihan. Starring Hannah Emily Anderson, Brittany Allen, Martha McIsaac. Majestic mountains. Hey, is that a euphemism for a still lake and a venomous betrayals engulf a female married couple attempting to celebrate their 1-year anniversary? So why did I pick this film?
Compelling stuff.
You picked it because I'm gay.
Somebody, I read, where did I see it? Yeah, exactly. Because I saw...
I saw the trailer the day before you asked me to do this, and I was like, these guys are going to ask me to do this fucking movie.
Obviously because you're from Canada, that's why.
It's on topic and
Canadian gays.
Gays. Stop playing around. Anyway, so I picked this one because I had
Canadian bacon.
I had seen such rave reviews on it on Facebook. I was like, oh, okay. And then one of my friends who is a homosensuous man himself told me you got to see this movie. I was like, all right, whatever.
Who was that?
I'm down to see this type of film.
We can't name names. Never mind.
And then I saw one of the an article about it, and it says what this horror film gets right about lesbian relationships, and I was like, well, whatever. I mean, I wouldn't know.
I mean,
I guess it gets it right if it's about insane sociopaths.
You know what they got right?
What?
Soothing demon songs sung to your partner, and also playing games with bird noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that absolutely right.
You guys really do that?
They got the part where they push each other off the cliff.
Every day. Yeah.
When they push each other off the cliff, I was thinking that looks just like how I imagine Thea's date to be.
That's correct.
So this film, she was in Jigsaw, that new horrible Saw film. Okay, that's
both of them were actually.
Was she the other girl with the short hair?
At least 2 people in here were, because when I was looking through IMDb, it showed 2 people.
Oh, good.
Oh, she's in a couple of sci-fi series as well. Okay. Anyway, so I had so this film is basically about these 2 lovebirds. They're played respectively. What's so funny? Played by Hannah Emily Anderson and Brittany Allen. I was trying to figure out where Brittany Allen was from because she looks familiar. Then I realized she looks like who's that actress that won the role for Boys Don't Cry? She looks like her in the same
Hilary
sort of look. She looked like Hilary not really, but sort of. The haircut
Hilary Swank
anyway,
looks nothing like this.
I watched it with Heather, and she kept calling her Peter Pan, and that was accurate.
I could see that.
The Peter Pan from the new one with the hot girl from
it doesn't matter.
Get Out.
She looked like a prepubescent boy.
Or the original Peter Pan that's played by a girl in the play.
Right. Exactly.
Here's the thing. This movie is it's nice up to a point, and then I was like, nah. I mean, what is this? Like,
that's right. I feel like
does that make me homophobic?
No, I was ready to give it. I was ready to give it like a steady 6 or 7, like up to about 80% of the film, and then the last 20 minutes, I literally was screaming at the.
I was too.
I was like,
"What are you
doing?"
I never do this, but I really was like, "What are you doing?"
I do always do it, but I especially was doing it this time.
It's an interesting film because there's a character, and we'll get into it, a character who makes very smart decisions, then becomes an idiot in the middle of the film, and then becomes even more stupider at the end.
Yes.
And then they try to make that person, hey, I was smarter all along. Hey, I guess I sacrificed something, but hey, I got you, huh?
I'm like, you could have done that without dying.
They could have done that without.
Yeah, you could have just stabbed her when she was unconscious.
It was almost like somebody. It was almost like somebody was calling out their womanhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
you know how like somebody she could have put the peroxide in the insulin
and walk away.
Okay, so let's get into this. So this film has Jackie and Jules. Jackie is the how do I say this? You describe the 2 here, because I swear to God, I'm going to walk on minefields. How they look?
There's a lipstick lesbian. There's a lipstick lesbian, and there's a butch lesbian. But also,
I'm going to say that Jackie, the sociopath, when she becomes a sociopath, I really had an extra boner for her.
Yeah, you were like into it.
Yeah,
that did it for
especially
you?
the part where she's like, dressed in an army uniform, shooting darts at someone. I was like, wow, that's my fantasy.
I mean, they weren't darts.
Exactly
I think they were bullets, but
I don't know about you guys,
darts.
but when
they were trank darts.
When I was watching the very beginning of this movie, at least an hour and a half to it, I was like, where are these girls' boyfriends at? I was confused. Get it, everybody? That's funny stuff. Anyway, so these two girls, these two women are vacationing at Jackie's home ranch, I believe. When she was younger, she just got. I guess, did somebody die and they gave it to her, or they're just sort of renovating it?
It was
like her family's home or her family's cottage or whatever it felt like.
So they've been married.
They didn't really elaborate.
Okay, they've been married for a year. Here's the thing I'll give this movie. No, for whatever faults it has, beautifully shot film. Really,
Very
it seems
well
like they
shot.
really
like scary.
It seems
well
like they
shot.
really, I know. So I was like, damn, this should have been used for a better film. But
seriously,
and I thought the actors were good too.
I do that comes second as well. Well, okay, we'll get to that.
I think all of them were.
That shot when Jules is kind of walking through the house and it's like a one long take on a Steadicam following them around. I thought it was fucking incredible. I was like, wow.
Every time they did a long Steadicam shot, it looked amazing. Like when they were fighting upstairs later, also a full one-shot Steadicam was great.
So there was a lot. You can tell that this film was low budget in a sense that there's not a lot of crazy camera work. I mean, the camera work that is done very beautifully. Mm-hmm. Everything looks fantastic.
Beautifully. Beautiful.
So these two are on their vacation, and their little sort of everything is basically pillow talk between the two of them. Seems like they're so much in love, and the tables turn within about 15 minutes into the film when Jackie pushes.
It's
Jules.
longer than 15 minutes.
Is
it's
it
like,
like?
Well, no, you find out that she's.
Is it half an hour?
It took a half hour.
Yeah,
but you still find out stuff is weird. You find out
Jules,
she changed her name and all this kind of shit too, though.
Right. There's something that is raising the cackles on Jules' neck because she doesn't know that because an old friend comes by when she sees the lights in the house are on. She says nobody's here, so I kind of had to check who was here. I think that was Sarah, right? Played by Martha McIsaac. She comes by, and I swear to you, Joey Klein, who plays the husband of Sarah, looks like fucking Ted from Bill and... Oh, no, he looks like Bill from Bill and Ted.
He looks like someone. He looks like real
weird.
Ted.
He does.
He looks like Alex... Alex, I forgot the guy's name. Anyway.
Sure it's not him?
So, yeah, right? He would have been most excellent. So, she comes and visits, and she calls her by a different name. So, Jules is like... Megan. Jules is like, what the fuck is this? So, and that raises up some red flags. Anyway, so this leads to the whole big twist. Or if you actually hear about this film, I guess you don't really...
I knew nothing. I was completely shocked when she pushed her.
I saw the trailer, so I knew fully what was going on.
Okay, so I didn't see the trailer.
Oh, they ruined it in the trailer? That's lame.
They do.
I guess there's no real way you cannot ruin that. You could have just shown them sort of looking scared. Because there's enough scared shots.
They could have edited out all the scenes of Jackie and only had Jules fighting shadows and.
Yeah.
No, but there's even shots when Jackie's running in the woods scared at the end that you could play it out that something's hunting.
There's all kinds of stuff they could have done.
There's a lot of shit.
They didn't do that.
They could even show the fucking bear and people would think it's a bear hunting them throughout the film. Anyway,
I wish.
So this leads to the big sort of twisteroo that Jackie pushes Jules off of a cliff, which
that was good and abrupt. I did enjoy that.
That happens
a
lot in real life. A lot of people kill their mates by throwing them off cliffs. There was this one woman who raised up the insurance. It's still crazy to me that you can raise somebody's insurance without them knowing it. That is the wildest thing to me. Just recently,
it's very John Locke, actually, from Lost, with his dad.
This woman went canoeing with her husband. I don't mean to just step over that, Danny. I did like Lost. She was canoeing with her husband, and she fucked up the canoe so that her husband actually drowned. And I think she only got 6 years, and she was still trying to get the insurance off the husband. It's very for insurance.
Did she get the money even after the 6 years?
I believe they're fighting it, so I'm not sure.
Anyway, so this is worth it.
The whole twist for this film is essentially just. It's kind of vanilla, although it makes more sense. That's more believable what she does now because she had some fucking haunted ghost on her or something like that because she wants the insurance payout from killing Jules. And
that's what keeps her alive, Wink.
Yes. So what's your problem with that title? Because you brought that up before we did this.
I don't love a title when they use it in the movie several times. Like once is already too much, but if you use it 2 or 3 times, then that is too many times. I'm sorry.
They look at the screen full on.
So if the movie
I
was
feel
called,
like they might as well be breaking the fourth wall. Is what I feel. You know?
Just stop and look at the screen. Do you think
if
it was called
come out?
Yeah.
If it was called something else completely different, you think it would be less of an annoyance to you, or?
I think so. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the title of the movie is something completely different.
Literally.
So essentially, the film becomes a cat and mouse hunt for for the rest of the film, and Jackie is she becomes like a Terminator. She's like a Rambo, right? But I would almost call it something else. What would you call something with a bow at the end of it, but crazy? All right, never mind.
Sigourney Weaver?
No, that was So, I don't know. What did you feel about the whole twist of this film, and how do you think they effectively used this, that Jackie's hunting down Jules for the rest of the film? And it's pretty early on into the movie.
Yeah, it is.
How do you think?
I was so fucking frustrated when, you know what? It was great when she killed the dinner guests and everything, and that was wonderful. And then she gets her, and she just fucking goes back. What the fuck is wrong with this lady?
Yeah.
How dumb do you have to be?
Disappointing.
Hasn't she ever seen a horror movie?
This is what I don't understand, is that Jules survives falling over that cliff, and then she gets up, she runs back to the house, she stitches herself up, okay? That's got to take some bravery, I would think. Yeah, it's impressive, and also it's smart, and she's brave. And then she becomes a cowering pussy for the rest of the film. And it's what? You put yourself together and ran away from this person, then you're going to let her kill 2 people when you have an easy opportunity to run the fuck out of the house again, steal one of their cars, or whatever you want to do, get out of there, and then all of a sudden, it leads back to them fighting whatever again. And then you go, oh, you know what? Hey, my feelings are hurt because she was, what was it? She was the crow and the other one was
she can't do it to anyone else, but the thing is, tell the fucking police.
Right, that's easy. Just call the fucking cops and go home.
Yeah.
But no, she decides that she wants to do it herself because she, like I said before, her
wanted to fucking play Silverchair one last time.
I know. Yeah, I was trying to figure out. I was like, Silverchair, that's the weirdest song to pick of. I don't know. I would have picked Abuse Me. I loved Abuse Me. That was a great song. But it's such a weird character logic flaw that happens in this film that I just was like, halfway through. Because
on a side note, though, Freak Show was a great album.
It is. I like Frog Stomp. That was a good album.
That's the first one, right?
Yeah. Anyway, but I mean, the introduction of the 2 characters, I thought it would drag out more with those 2 characters. Essentially, Jules got them killed because she was she did it really stupidly too, because she was whispering in the girl's ear.
Oh my god, I was so
really obviously
mad.
Yeah.
Couldn't she just laugh and slap her knee and be like, "Hey, listen, this bitch is gonna try to kill us. I'm serious. You were right." Stuff like that. That's all she had to do. Fake it. I don't know why you would look so.
Fake it till you make it.
Throughout the whole, she was faking enough at the dinner to look like she cared about, her relationship with Jackie. You know what I mean? She was fake. She looked like she was trembling and shitting.
Also, just to be a little real here, if you fall off a cliff and you bash your face and you cut open your stomach,
you would look. You're
not going to look presentable at a dinner party.
You absolutely aren't.
I mean, I've had times where I've been bitten by a bug, and now I look like a Toxic Avenger because there's a fucking giant mosquito welt on my face or something, and there's nothing you could do to hide that.
I fell in a Walmart parking lot and skinned my nose once, and it looked like I had been beaten.
Ooh, my God.
Skinned your nose, wow.
Yeah, my nose fell
That's crazy.
First.
Right, and you look like a freak for a week.
Yeah.
You probably had pus and shit on the tip of your nose,
the bridge. Yeah, the whole bridge was just cut. It was great.
Oh wow.
Skinned.
So Thea,
so this girl looked great. She looked beautiful.
Right?
With 10 minutes after falling off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So Thea, it tells me that you have a lot of issues with this film. You can please just go on with them. This is your opportunity just to.
This is your moment to represent your people, Thea.
I just wanted
Canadian women.
I wanted Jules to be a little more like intelligent than she was. Okay, because first of all, the last 20 minutes, yes, she makes the worst possible decisions of life, but she's also been making bad decisions for the whole movie. If I found out my wife that I've known for however long, more than a year, obviously, because that's how long they've been married. If I found out my wife had a different name completely, and I did not know that for this whole time that we've been dating, I would be like, this is a bigger sticking point, and I feel like I have to leave, kind of. And then also, if I found out that if I went to her friend's house and they were like, oh, she's never told you about this really haunting like thing that happened when she was a kid, I would be like, okay, now you need to tell me every detail instead of waiting to ask my wife.
Well, in all fairness, the point where they were going to tell every detail, she pushed her off a cliff.
Also, she literally sings her a song that is like, I'm a demon. So, like, I'm just saying there's a lot of red flags. Okay? A lot of red flags.
So, who was the bad actor for you in this?
I didn't like Jules.
Really?
Yeah. But it could have just been the writing. It could have just been like they wrote her stupid, so I was...
I thought she did I mean, she's stupid as fuck, but the parts where she was reacting to finding out her wife is insane, like when she was like hiding and shit, I thought that was pretty good.
It was a little bit... She's a soap opera actress, and I could tell.
Jules is a soap opera actor?
Yes.
I like soap opera acting, though.
I do sometimes.
I like Jackie's performance.
Yeah, me too.
Hannah Emily Anderson. I liked her performance in the film. She sort of gave me that Get Out vibe. You know, the scene where the girlfriend was talking on the phone to the cops and was like...
Oh, God, she's in like a Star Trek uniform or something? Yeah.
yeah, out of nowhere. But, I think Jackie gave a decent performance. The part where she's on the phone crying to the cops wasn't as believable as the one in Get Out. Like, that was just, like, startling, that scene. In this, like, even I wouldn't have believed that fucking phone call because it sounded so bad. And why would you also make a call far away from the body, quote unquote, because they can track your fucking phone where it is. So people don't think about that stuff.
Also, the autopsy.
I feel like you would ping to the same tower, but
I mean, they're very sloppy because look, put it this way: if an autopsy report, they're going to see that she fell twice. They're going to see that she stitched herself.
Yeah,
and then that got removed. They're going to see
where you pulled out the stitches.
Yeah, they're going to see all these little holes and like bruises, and they're going to be able to tell, oh, that bruise started like 10 hours earlier than this bruise. Like, they're going to know.
Yeah, the logic.
Once I saw the diabetic needle comes and it becomes, what is it, Chekhov's gun? You know that whole phrase that once a gun is introduced, it'll come back.
As soon as they told you that she's diabetic, you're like, okay, well, that's going to come back. Like
that's definitely going to come back. I was like, yeah, that's going to come back in some fucking form, and it does at the end. And it's very neat how she's killed. They're like, oh,
imagine she kills her by slipping an extra thing of sugar into her coffee.
No, she puts a Snickers bar inside of the bag, and the girlfriend just eats it, and she goes, "Oh no, I can't eat this!" And she goes, "Arg!" Yeah, I mean, I knew that was gonna come. It was very stupid. It was just so stupid for Jules to come back.
I actually I learned something. You can actually get blood clots and die from hydrogen peroxide injection.
That's like scary.
You knew not to inject hydrogen peroxide before that point, right?
No,
he was just about to do that.
I mean, I was.
He wanted to try a new high.
I was considering it.
Aloft.
It was right there, right next to his tummy, and then he was like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't do this if this movie says so." And then he had he was sitting on a can.
I'm gonna write the actors and the director and be like, "You guys saved my life. Thank you."
Oh my god.
Anyway, what were the positives of this film for you guys? What do you think worked with the movie?
Thea.
I mean, I'm happy anytime there's gay representation in a horror movie, never mind whether it's perfect or not.
What did you... because... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yep. Go for it.
Because I don't know how... if that's offensive to people in the LGBTQ... I don't know what the rest of the letters are. If a straight... I'm assuming the guy wrote this is straight.
He is.
Wrote that for them. Wrote lesbian characters. Like, do you think he had... Do you think does he necessarily need to have consultation on it, or is he just writing two characters in love that just happen to be women, or do you think that's a bigger issue for other people? Not necessarily for yourself, but do you think that, you know how people jump to like...
Yeah.
Apparently they were supposed to be a man and a woman, and then they changed it. Yeah, I read that in like a little trivia thing about it.
I found it maybe it's because of that reason. I find when you're writing about a community that isn't yours, when you're writing about an identity that isn't yours, as long as that's not the central thing that you're writing about, like you know that experience, I think you're okay. Because I feel like this story isn't about them being gay. The story is about one of them being a psychopath and them being in a relationship together. It's not necessarily important that they're gay. It's just that's what they are in the movie, and that's fine. And I like it for that. I think that representation is more interesting than if it had just been a straight couple. I feel like that would have been boring to me.
I confirmed it. In early stages of the film's development, the main characters were husband and wife.
There you go. And he might have written it
for himself or something?
Well, his wife is just Jules.
Oh, okay.
So he might have written it sort of with that idea in mind originally.
So
Jules is his wife? Sorry.
Jules is his wife. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yeah. So do you think there's an exploitative angle? That it's it's perilously hanging over an exploitative angle if somebody is writing characters not necessarily from their lifestyle? Or do you think that's just sort of a broad sort of thing to say about that?
Broad.
No, I think if he'd made the movie with their tits out for the whole movie, then it would have been exploitative. I think the way
that would have been great.
I think
that would have
been
a better movie,
but
okay.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like the way
nobody's disagreeing on that one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I feel like the way he wrote it wasn't exploitative to me.
Okay. Because there wasn't like an because you can always say all the making out scenes, but then that's just a passionate scene between two people in love, right?
Too. Yeah.
So I mean, I can see that. So I understand how not like nowadays it's really like because there's a novel called Lovecraft Country or Lovecraft County that I read, which is primarily African American people in
That's
the
what
early.
Jordan Peele's making into a show.
Right, for HBO, which I really want.
I
think it's going to be, but already they're like switching characters and stuff like that. Like I think the main bad guy was like a posh like white guy who was into necromancy, and they turned him into this white woman. I think I'm not sure, so I was like, "That's gonna
necromancy make is just another word for romancy."
Anyway, so people were like, they asked the writer, who's a white guy who wrote about these black men's experience in the 1920s and all this racism and shit, if he was right to do it, but he had he sort of was doing a shuffle and dance because he was like, listen, I had to like do this all correctly. So I always wonder if everybody nowadays has to deal with that sort of issue, and I think they do. But I think I can't speak for gay people or lesbians that watch this film and say, is it right what he did? But I mean, like, now it seems like that question is always going to happen for the rest of time. But I think as a person who's just watching it as a film, I didn't see anything that was necessarily exploitative or anything about that. So that's why I think it was interesting to get everybody sort of opinion on this issue.
They exploited my love of pushing people off cliffs. Twice they did it. 2 times.
Yeah, and plus they have her live at the very end because you hear her breathe, so she's like able to survive.
That could have been like a gases escaping her dead body, though.
She like became a female Highlander, and then also I guess Jules leaving that video on the computer. That was sort of ridiculous because then imagine somebody comes back to this place and sees. Oh, I guess Jules, since she's alive, she'll just explain what happened anyway. Never mind, forget it. Because if she didn't wake up at the end, then people would be like, "Hey, this woman just killed her wife," and then
but then they'll see all the lockets and shit, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, people are stupid though.
You gotta trust in the detective's abilities to do detective work. Okay.
I don't know. Overall, I didn't think it was that fantastic. I thought it was okay. I think once you found out the villain's sort of intent, it sort of became this generic sort of film.
Oh, and also, can I say one thing that really frustrated me?
Please do.
Not that frustrated me, but this was like pointless.
You were furious. What?
Finding the lockets behind the bear head on the wall.
I don't even know how she saw that shit.
Doesn't matter, she saw it, whatever, but
yeah.
At that point, who fucking cares? You already know that it's all a lie, so like that as a...
Was this after she killed the 2 people, or...?
She killed the 2 people, she knew
oh my god, she killed 5 more people?
Exactly. Oh! I was like...
Okay,
well, it's just driving home the point. She's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's
a
really bad girl, and she pretends to be other people and kills them.
I feel like this movie had a lot going for it, but the writing suffered for me.
Yeah, same here. I just thought it completely, like, because I mean, and plus it's also repetitive, like chase, grab, let go. You know, it's the
not
same
the
shit.
right kind of grab, not the Donald Trump type of grab.
But that's all the writing, right?
It was just grabbing and hurting.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, never mind. I'm not even going to go into that. So,
what's your rating?
I would give this movie probably a 5 out of 10. It would be higher because of the great cinematography and some of the decent acting is in it. But I just didn't think it was that great. A 5 out of 10, deciding that you're no chicken, you're a raven.
Oh, shit.
Danny?
I am going to give it a 7. Oh, and do you know Jules did the music, too?
No, I didn't.
Apparently. I don't remember the music, so...
I don't remember the music.
Oh, actually, no. Wait, do I remember the music? I think
Except for Silverchair.
Oh, yeah, she wrote Silver... She was a 17-year-old man.
She didn't do that part. That was the only part she did. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because even though it is generic and there are all sorts of problems, it was very well shot. I thought the acting was good. And there was like 1 or 2 points where it was like, oh my god, when she pushed her off the cliff, that was like, wow, that was scary. You know? So 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 pushing someone off a cliff. And they are ripped open, they're broken, they've broken bones, and then they're fine for dinner later in the day.
All right, Thea?
I'm going to give it 5.5. Welcome to my Silverchair fan casts out of 10.
Come on, abuse me more, I like it. Anyway.
No, we have to pay for that, Alex.
Oops, I don't like it. Anyway, but I got to say that... This is the second film in the recent while that we've seen with female antagonists. The other one was the Island of the Lost Souls. Still, I just did.
No, I thought it was the Forest of Lost Souls.
The Forest of the Lost Souls.
Rating here. She hasn't done a rating.
Did she not? Okay, sorry.
I just did it.
5.5 what? Though?
I said 5.5. Welcome to my Silverchair fan casts out of 10.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
See, Danny gets mad at me when I do that, but then now you did. See, Danny, screw you. Anyway,
it's okay. He had me repeat it.
I hope to see more female villains in horror movies. But so far the last two that we've seen,
women really are the villains that we know.
Yeah, because the last two we have seen is just sort of like milquetoast. Like, who cares? Anyway,
this one
with
wasn't
that.
bad.
Thea, what's the... she was alright. Thea, what's the final word?
Milk toast.
Danny, what's the final word?
What is milk toast?
The Horror Deconstruction.